always tell people that something good happens here every day.
When we walked from Broyhill Fountain, the old fountain at the university, and we would march at night with candles, and we would go down Fraternity Row, and these young men would come out on the balconies and they would scream obscenities at us.
My involvement from day one was I had a passion to make sure that people who had been hurt had a safe place to go. I had an understanding of how powerless you felt.
Probably 75 or 76 is when I answered the newspaper ad from Jackie and Shirley, and it was just the three of us at that first meeting.
In 1974, there were a couple of women who had been sexually assaulted in the library, and then a couple of other women on campus. And those women had tried to report what was going on, and they had a lot of resistance. We don't want the campus to feel unsafe. Did this really happen? Those kinds of things. And so they got together and they started talking about their experience, formed a support group, formed a crisis line, and got Gina Washburn as a VISTA volunteer to be able to start answering that crisis line. And then it moved to Open Door Health Center.
It was time for us to kind of take some of the advice that we often give women to kind of help them stand on their own feet and become independent. And very quickly the decision was made to leave family services while we were all basically sitting in my living room. And I thought that was a very courageous thing for the staff to do, because it basically meant walking away from everything.
Old Fed was like a really creepy, dark, not good place for an agency like RSAC to be. Probation was very close by. There were a lot of homeless people in the area. You never really knew who was in and out of the building. It was not very secure. Homeless people lived in the basement at night, and it was by a couple of bus stations, and it really just wasn't a good place. So one of the first things I went to after I joined the board was a planning retreat at Southeast Community College. And I don't think I'd been on the board more than 6 months, at the most a year, and people started talking about, what do we envision for this agency? What would we most like to have? And people started talking at length about how we needed a house, a place where groups could meet, where people could feel safe. That would be like a home.
I have so many memories of women who walked in the door, crumbled and upset and fearful, and left empowered. And there are just so many memories that just make me smile, of the kinds of things that women who went from being victims to survivors by walking in the door here.
This is the story of a bird with no wings, but certain that it can fly, sailing on love into the headwinds, forcing its way by and by. If only we were as strong as this bird, our spirit would never die. What do we name it? Hope is the right word. Hope is the bravest, most beautiful bird in the sky. Hope is a bird, flies higher than others, and keeps all our dreams alive. Free of all doubt, perfectly fearless, fed by its will to survive. Imagine ourselves becoming this bird. We can when we dare to try, and see ourselves flying over the mountain. Hope is the bravest, most beautiful bird in the sky. Only hope can light the way. Only hope can heal the heart. Only hope can keep the clouds from hiding the moon and the stars. If only we were as strong as this bird, our spirit would never die. What do we name it? Only one word. Hope is the bravest, most beautiful bird. Hope is the bravest, most beautiful bird in the sky. Only hope can light the way. Only hope can heal the heart. Only hope can keep the clouds from hiding the moon and the stars. This was a story of a bird without wings and rose above everything. Never once giving up. Oh.
Thank you to the women who work here, who give of themselves and their time. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for giving us the direction and for really giving me my life back.